sun's in my eye. On that note, welcome back to OurMFC. I'm blind right now. So I'm just gonna. There we go. So, see how the sun is there and there now. Magic. Hey, don't be mean to the sun. All right, guys. Let's be kind to the. I know it's not technically our planet, but it's. You know what I mean? Environmentalism and stuff. Yeah, go vegan. So today we're going to break down the loss at Ashton Gate in good old Bristol. Don't know if it's good. Never been. Let me know if Bristol's nice or not. If you went to the game, or if you're from there, indeed, or if you just visited. Is Bristol nice? That's the main takeaway from this intro. So we're going to stop talking about the area of Bristol and more about the football match that happened at Ashton Gate, which had Borough in, by the way. So, that not conceding in the first 15 minutes of games record, yeah, that's gone. Down. I did wonder, perhaps, if that conceding inside 15 minutes maybe had a bit of a mental effect. Maybe the players were a bit like, oh, hang on, this hasn't happened yet this season. What's going on here? This doesn't happen. No. It didn't look like the attitude changed much from what I see on the highlights package. People were still getting stuck in, still looking to create chances, but maybe, I don't know, something to think about. I'm not a psychologist. I did do it for A-levels, though. Not pursuing it any further. That's enough about me. Let's talk about the match. So yeah, we did go behind in the 7th minute, thanks to Andy Vyman. So let's just have a little chat about the goal, shall we? That's what you're here for, a little conflab. So the highlight starts with Chris Martin laying it off to Semenyo. Chris Martin kind of right up against Paddy McNair. Dale Fry's already kind of pushed up a bit as that more aggressive defender, something which I'd seen quite often in this highlights package. So Dale Fry's already pushed up to try and win the ball off of Semenyo just to kind of apply pressure. From what I'm seeing in the highlight, right? I didn't watch the game. But yeah, Martin then drifts inside of McNair into that space that Fry has kind of vacated, which means McNair has to come across. Otherwise, Chris Martin's just got a free run at goal. Semenyo just plays a 1-2 with the wingback, which bypasses Taylor. It's an overload, so I'll let him off. Tav tries to win it back off Semenyo, doing that tracking back that he loves to do, but Semenyo just waits as him, to be honest. Just says no. And hey, if they say no, they say no. That's a rule to live by, all right? Yeah, Semenyo then pulls it back to Vyman, and Vyman's movement is really smart, actually. He kind of runs in, and then just as the defence is just pushing off, Vyman just holds his run. He just checks back, just basically stops, leaves a huge gap for him in the middle there, because the defence has pushed back, scared that they're going to do what we do all the time with Jones and put it right across the 6-yard line, which is so horrible to defend. Instead, Vyman just pulls back into that space that's been left untracked. Dyke still realises too late. The ball comes across from Semenyo and Vyman fires it in because Dyke still can't quite get back to block the shot. Yeah, that was great. That was 1-0. We continued to kind of dominate the game, according to what I've seen on Twitter and the good old attacking momentum bar, which, you know what, you can have a look at that now. Hey, I'm treating you. You can see attacking momentum bar. We're the blue ones. Good start. They score. We started dominating again. Had a little spell. We dominated basically the rest of the game. I mean, that goal is completely against the run of play. Look at the second half here. That is just Borough dominance pretty much the whole way through, with a few attacks for Bristol City. One of them goes in. Let's talk about that one, shall we? So, Bristol City 2, Borough 0. Just a long ball forward, flicked on past Dale Fry, who once again has pushed forward as the aggressive defender. It falls to Semenyo. Dyke still wins it back, but little bit unfortunate. Maybe puts too much on his pass, or I mean, it just basically breaks back for Bristol City. Then I just basically lowered the speed on the highlight to 0.5. Watched Semenyo. Semenyo gets back up, makes a run in between Fry and McNair, which, I mean, if you're making a run in between the two centre backs, it's always going to cause a problem. That's a typical striker's run, really, making the run in between them, commit one of them, make them commit, basically. In this one, Fry's, because I mean, Bristol City do some kind of, I'd describe it as intricate, if not untidy, build-up play, really, from the Robins. Just, it's a little bit scuffed, but it worked. It did look quite nice, to be fair to them. Full credit to them. I mean, they won the game, so. And yeah, then it comes to Semenyo. He's, McNair, he basically, Semenyo gets goal side of McNair in the gap between him and Fry, and then comes inside, picks up the ball, not easily, takes a couple of touches, and then just hits it on the swivel because he's in such a rich vein of form. Antoine Semenyo, he's playing with such confidence at the moment, just hits it on the swivel from the edge of the box on basically the half volley as well. Just puts in the bottom corner, through Fry's legs as well. I'm not going to go at Lumley for that, as much as I've defended Lumley. All right, I have, and I will continue to, because he's a Borough player. And remember that. We defend the Borough players until they do something, horrendous off the pitch. I mean that, or swear at the fans or something. And Lumley doesn't do that. He seems to be a lovely bloke. Does have a howler in him, but I wouldn't say that was one of said howlers. Yeah, Borough kind of then, as you see the attacking momentum chart here, just continued to push for the goal. Just a couple of big chances, a couple of, well, not massive. I mean, we did have 2 big chances here. You can see both of them missed. I mean, 15 shots inside the box. Crikey. Suggests to me that Bristol City quite deep, just sitting in, soaking up the pressure. 15 shots inside the box. Bloody hell. 63% possession as well. We played our game, really. But Bristol City, well, they stifled us, didn't they? I mean, they won the game, as I've said. Yeah, so we got a goal back late on, very late on, from a corner. I know, who knew it? We can score corners. Yeah, it's a good delivery from Tav into the dangerous area. Is it? No, it's not actually the corridor of uncertainty, is it? It's a corridor of uncertainty. I'd say big difference between A and the. But yeah, it's into a good area, and Crooks's movement is excellent. Just to lose his marker, just kind of peels away from the defender. The defender goes this way, he just goes back out there. Suddenly, there's 3 or 4 bodies in between him and his marker. The defenders don't really have time to react and go, "Oi, mark the big man," and then he just checks back into that space and just gets ow. Sorry, I've hurt my neck doing a light fitting. Well, trying to do a light fitting. I'm not an electrician. If you know what I am, tell me. That would be great. Other than great at doing videos. Bloody hell! Don't you dare dispute it. Yeah, we are going to not have Crooks though for the next 2 games because he's picked up 10 yellow cards. Which, my first thought was Paul Martin. That was his chance, really. This is his chance now. Crooks is out of the team for 2 games. Martin would have had the chance when we see when he comes on, he plays on the right hand side of that midfield 3. He's now not going to get that chance because he's injured himself. It's a real sucker for Martin. I'm sorry. I mean, it could give Riley McGree a chance, maybe. Obviously, he's a left footer, but I did see on one of the highlights him on the right hand side, kind of cutting in and having a strike on his left foot. So maybe that's something we could see, or we could see Tav moved out there. I wouldn't say Boyd Muntz, but you never know. I don't even know if he's left or right footed, to be honest. But who knows? I trust Wilder to figure something out because he is a great guy and a good manager too. If you didn't know, we've lost 3 in 16. Let's calm down. Yeah, he's also our top scorer. Matty Crooks, I do believe, and a big aerial threat, as we saw in this corner. That's something that weapon we're not going to have for 2 games now, which isn't ideal. We've utilised it well this whole season, really. From corners, or also from Jones getting down the side and floating a ball in for Crooks to then get on the end of. It's now going to have to be pretty much every time drilling it low across the floor, because we don't really have anyone else who's going to be up there when Jones gets it that can rise high and win those headers, really. So yeah, that's a loss, but one man's loss is another man's treasure. That's not the saying. Cliches. So looking at the stats, I mean, you can see that Borough were rather dominant. As I've said, 21 shots, 15 inside the box. Daniel Bentley making 9 saves as well. Most of the ones I see looked reasonably comfortable, or, ones that he should have maybe held and instead parried. But again, you can't really knock him. He had a good game according to this, 8.6. Let me just move this across so I can read it. 1 second. There we go. 90 minutes, 9 saves. 7 saves from inside the box. Yeah, it is what it is. Another thing that also shows how deep they were sat is the old clearance stat down here. 23 just shows that we were pushing the pressure on, just getting it into the box, it being cleared by them just constantly. Yeah, but you can see with the passes, like we tried to play our game. We just came up against a team that were resolute defensively. So moving on to the average positions, I'm sure you've all been waiting for it. They're a bit weird. I've put Bristol City in white, by the way. When I looked on the phone, both teams were on red on the average positions that from SofaScore that I kind of copy off of. So I just put Bristol City in white. What are you going to do? Fight me? No. I've been to the gym today. Okay. So, yeah. I'll just give you a minute to digest this. It's the Great Wall of Bristol. I mean, what's going on here? Nigel Pearson, that is. I'll tell you what I think is going on here. Obviously, it's up to interpretation. As I've said, it's a wall. It looks to me like they've just built a wall to stop the classic, shifting it over the left and then switching it up to Jones. That's what it looks like to me. Now, I could indeed be wrong, as we put the ball in the back of the Borough net. I could be wrong. I didn't watch the game, as I said. Average positions can tell a lie occasionally. But yeah, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? I've seen it before. It's just a bit strange. You can also see, let me just check the numbers real quick. Yeah, 18 and 9, Chris Martin. You can see it's more of a front three. That is with Antoine Semenyo being the more advanced of the three. I mean, you can see according to this, there's a lot of space. Like I say, you've got to remember, average positions don't tell the full story, because football is a very fluid game. So, if it was static, if they were stuck to where they are and people could only run forward, I mean, Balogun, Connolly and Tav are having a great time. Look at them. There, they'd be loving it. So much space. No. I mean, likewise, those 4 there would also be having a great time. But you can see we are quite advanced. Howson, once again up here, as you may remember from the Blackburn game, he was right back here. No, in this one, up there, surrounded by a lot of bodies, mind you. A lot of players out there looking, like I've said, it's heavily weighted to this left-hand side, looking like it's trying to form a blockade and stopping us getting that classic Dykesdale, Crooks and Jones link up. I nearly called them spoons there. I don't know what. Where the spoons? Maybe, but yeah, looking to stop that classic link up that we do this season that has been so effective. Yeah, I mean, it worked. Or did it work? Because when you look at the heat maps, you can see, if we look at Jones's heat map, and this is my next point, Jones with a 6.3, but you look at his heat map, that's right where you want him to be, isn't it? That's exactly where you want Isaiah Jones to be. Right up by the touchline, really wide, driving inside here, you know, if you think how you want Isaiah Jones to play, how we play it, we put it over to the left, switch it up to him, and Jones gets one-on-one with the defender, runs in, and just drills a ball across. And that has been so effective this season. And once again, that's how we had it with the opposition. And it's not like he wasn't getting service either. He had 74 touches, but only 2 crosses, only 1 key pass. And both the crosses didn't find a target. Once again, suggesting to me that Bristol City were just packing that box. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's a lot harder to find a cross when there's 5, 6, 7 defenders in there. It's just, simple maths, really. Jones, again, 4 dribble attempts. Classic Izzy Jones. Yeah, I mean, not his best game. He's still, I mean, I've made my point. You can see on the other side, Taylor as well, also on a 6.3. Now, he only played 53 minutes and only got 25 touches. That's a small sample size, 53. Well, it's smallish. The 53 minutes kind of, I mean, Riley Gree came on. Just 25 touches, though, in that time. Looks like he really struggled to get into the game, which is surprising when you look at how much more space there is out here. I mean, you can see number 33 for Bristol City. Sam Bell, is his first name Sam? Sam Bell. And Callas, both of them kind of out here. I mean, Bell right up on him. Again, we look at his heat map. I mean, he's in the areas Jones wants to. No, Jones, sorry. He's in the area Taylor wants to be, really. I mean, he only played 65 minutes. He only had 27 touches. Basically, most of the game was played over here, by the looks of things, because our left wing back and their right wing back just barely in it. Interestingly enough, the midfield had a good game. Now I realise that is going to be quite significantly affected by the fact that Crooks scored and Tav got the assist. But I think also the fact that we had 63% possession and 540 passes as well. You're going to expect that from that midfield. You're going to expect good ratings for them. And by the fact that we're creating chances, which even if Jones isn't creating the chances, someone like Crooks, come on Crooks, he obviously scored, like I've said, 71 touches for him. Howson, that was about 90 touches for Howson. And Tav, what were you on? 76, a lot of touches for him. Tav with 5 key passes, Howson with 3. 5 key passes. Again, Tav, naughty man. He attempted 14 crosses. I did not see that before this. Shiver my timbers, please. Can I have my timbers shivered, please? Yeah, crikey, Tav. Yeah, but 5 key passes from him, once again. Great performance, all over the place, all over the gaff, as I mentioned last time, same with Howson. Crooks, heavily weighted to that right-hand side, as you expect. And the defence, poor games, really. Still getting hooked on the 74th minute for what more when we, were losing and trying to get a late goal. That momentum, Joe. How do we lose this one? It happens. These games happen. Let's not have a meltdown. Yeah. What can you do? I don't know. I'm not the manager. Don't ask me. I just, attempt to break it down whilst not having a breakdown, which, as of now in this video, I haven't. So let's stop it before I do, eh? No one wants to see me having a breakdown. Or maybe you do. And if you do, that's not very nice, is it? Okay. Maybe this is the breakdown. Yes, all right, it's a different day. Get over it. Honest. Come on. I'm wearing different clothes. Haven't got my windows open for stars. Got my lamp, which is just blinding me. It's not even providing very good lighting, but we power on. And we power on to the West Brom game. This is obviously the second part of the match reaction, which we've decided to combine into one video, basically. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As per, not Mertesacker, I have put the average positions, roughly, and I've got my notes, because, would you believe it, I blew up this game of football. I know, rare thing. Leave me alone, all right? Don't have a go at me. So, let's have a run through, shall we? let's share my screen. You know, just let you have a peruse before we start having a chat about it. There you go. Nice peruse of the game. Nice attacking momentum board there. Actually, to be fair, not as one-sided as it has been in recent weeks. You know, you can see we started the better. If we look at where the goals came, there in their spell of dominance, really, right there. And drop down. You can see, I mean, from the start we were good. You know, they basically started off sitting in like a 4-5-1 out of possession, just trying to beef up that midfield. We've seen teams do it against us. They did it again. And 6 minutes in, some brilliant build-up play, you know, leads to a across the back post, which Riley McGree couldn't meet cleanly. And that made me think, Matty Crooks probably would have scored. Now, that's not a dig at Riley. You know, he's a short king. How tall is he? He might not even be that short, to be honest. Riley McGree. 178 centimetres. It's not that small. Don't know how big that is. I don't know, actually. I think it's roughly me. A bit bigger than me. So if you ever wanted to know my height, you know, I'm not on Wikipedia yet, but that will come. Yeah, Riley McGree couldn't get. Crooks probably would have, but Crooks in there. McGree was, and we'll get onto this later, was excellent anyway. 2 minutes later, classic long ball from McNair over to Jones that we've seen so often, which completely just takes the whole West Brom team out. Connor Townsend, the left back here, caught ball watching. Jones gets in beyond him. Townsend just grabs him. He just grabs him by the waist. You know, it could even be a red card to us. It's not a horrendous challenge. It's just Jones is rapid and has got in behind the defensive line, basically for on goal cleanly. You know, you back him to get one-on-one in that situation. Well, he is one-on-one. I mean, you back him to get beyond the centre back that's trying to get back and cover. Like, Townsend grabs him. You know, the linesman should probably see it. The ref, he's got a completely clear line of sight, but doesn't see it. That was one of quite a few interesting refereeing decisions, we'll say, in this game. But yeah, Connor Townsend, you can see on a 6.3 in this game, he did not have a fun time of it against Izzy Jones. See a heat map there, just constantly pinned back. I don't know much about Connor Townsend. I don't know if he's much of an attacking threat. Should we have a look? What's his kind of seasonal heat map? I mean, yeah, that's kind of what you'd expect, really. So, been the team of the week once, so good for him. 2 assists. Doesn't look like he's much of an attacking threat, but that could also be down to, well, he was playing under Valerian Ismail, who's very much a who-fit long manager, and now he's under Steve Bruce, who's not the most progressive man in the world, got to say. Stevie Bruce. But yeah, I mean, you can see Connor Townsend pushed right back, didn't have a fun time with it. Did win most of his ground duels, in fairness to the lad, but 7 tackles as well, crikey. Izzy Jones was really getting at him. And Jones actually only had a 6.3, but you can see, once again, pushed right up there. Yeah, 55 touches for him again. Solid passing accuracy. Got a key pass as well. Not successful in any of his dribble attempts, according to this, and only won 2 of 12 ground duels. So it wasn't his best game, but he was still a threat. He's always a threat, you know. And that yellow card, by the way, lovely stuff. Darnell, you know, he boots it out. Bit of time wasting. Things you love to say. Oh, hello. Hello, laptop. What are you doing here, sunshine? Yeah. Jones just boots it out late on. Lovely bit of time wasting. Darnell Furlong gives it a push. Don't you push my Jonesy. All right. Jones giving a shot back. Love that. Love that from Izzy Jones. That's what you love to see. Yeah, I mean, I noted down it was a really good start from Borough. We've dominated in the first 15 minutes. It's just absolutely dominated. I mean, first half here, 59% possession, but it was that kind of problem again. You know, loads of, to be fair, this wasn't the problem against Bristol City. We had loads of shots against Bristol City. But yeah, loads of possession, 2 shots, 1 on target. Yeah, I mean, I looked at the action areas at half time, and the action areas were, you know, it was like kind of 45% in the middle third, kind of 15 in ours or something like that, and about 25 in the West Brom third. You know, the majority of the play was in that middle third, us kind of trying to break them down, because when they were defending, they were just dropping it back. Steve Bruce, that's all I'll say. Not criticism, by the way. You know, there's many ways to win a game of football. There's also clearly many ways to lose a game of football. Less lol. Joe Lumley in this game gave me several heart attacks. I've defended Lumley before. This was not a great performance from him. He got a 6.7. I'm not even really going to look at his stats. We'll have a brief browse. I've noticed recent games, he's coming off his line a lot. And he's, when he does it successfully, great. But, there were 2 occasions here in this game where he didn't do it successfully. And he got away with both. On another game, that's, 2 errors leading to goals. And basically, it wasn't a great performance from him. The first one comes out, really good reading of the situation. Beautiful stuff. Comes in between his centre-backs. Just all he's got to do, just kick it away. And he scuffs the clearance, and thankfully it goes to a Borough player. Because if that goes to a West Brom player, he's getting lobbed. You'd expect West Brom to score, really. At least leaves us in a hairy position. Like a head. It's a thinker for you lot at home. And the other one, I don't even know why he's there. The ball's coming down the side. I'll show you it on the average positions here. Ball's coming down this side, just floating across. All of a sudden, I watched this on TV, and all of a sudden, Joe Lumley's here. It's like, Joseph, hello. I'm all for a sweeper keeper. Yeah. Pick your moments, Joe. That wasn't one of them. Just took it round him. Thankfully, we have a Dutchman called Anthony Dijksteel, who is the best Dutch defender in the world. Yeah, I said it. Come at me, Liverpool fans. They don't watch this. No, maybe they will. Maybe they will now. Yeah. Now that I've bloody rattled them senseless. 1-0. I believe that's what the kids. I mean, I'm 18. Don't know what I'm saying about what the kids say. I was born in 2003. Crikey. Anywho, back to the old sofa score. Back to the notes. I also noted down 1-0 West Brom. Yep, that happened. I did note that down. I've also put they created next to nothing, which, I mean, they hadn't. Neither had we. We hadn't created any real clear-cut chances. They'd had 4 shots. I really want to see the shot areas, but they're not there. Michael Salisbury. Naughty man. A couple of questionable decisions, as I said. But yeah, it was 1-0. 1-0 to West of the Brom. Bromwich of the West. Whatever you want to call them, really. Andy Carroll involved, as you'd probably expect, really. Misjudged. Well, Howson just completely scuffs his backwards header. Really poor from him, to be honest. Fry gets caught underneath it. I don't think he's expecting Howson to just lob it up in the air. Fry gets caught underneath it. Carroll just runs in beyond, plays it across, eventually falls to Jason Malumbi. His shot gets deflected and goes in. Just that was to coin a famous phrase, typical Borough. Yeah. Not that it matters now, because spoiler alert, we won. Yeah. Then I mentioned the old Lumley mistake where he's just chilling out at right back. Why not, mate? Why not? Who says he can't play at right back? Chris does, mate. All right, Chrissy Wilder says you're not a right back. Like I say, I'm all for a sweeper keeper, but pick your bloody moments, Joseph. Okay. Yeah. And thankfully, as I said, Dijksteel saved him. So just gets goal side of Dean Garner. In fact, if you look on the average positions, Dijksteel against Dean Garner was not Dean Garner. Sorry, it's Carl and Grant. My bad. Dijksteel against Carl and Grant was quite a pivotal duel in this game. In fact, these two here, all 3, they kind of looked like they tried to match up 1v1 against our 3 centre-backs. I don't know if the game plan from Steve Bruce was to occupy the centre-backs and then have, because they're supposed to be playing a 4-2-3-1, just to occupy the centre-backs and then have Adam Reach kind of flowing into the spaces beyond. But that's not how it played out. That's not a phrase. It's not how it played out, mainly because, Fry dealt with Carroll very well. Dijksteel absolutely pocketed Grant. Yeah, Colin Grant couldn't get anything off him. No spare change falling out of that pocket. Dean Garner did get in behind Paddy McNair once or twice with that pace, but Dale Fry just covered it. Yeah. Why not? Why not, Dale? You are a saucy little centre back. Not even little, big centre back. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, those 3 there. I mean, what were their average ratings? Yeah, 7.7. Dale Fry only got a 6.6, which feels a bit harsh, but I guess what he does maybe doesn't get the plaudits on on sofa school, but he was, he was really good again. Not as good as Dykesdale, of course, who just 6 out of 6 ground drills won and 4 out of 5 aerial drills. Bloody hell. And heavily involved in both goals. What performance from Anthony. We'll get on to that. I also know Tav loves a tactical foul, just if that's, he's like Fernandinho, but more attacking. And then also on the 40, in added time of the first half, I think Balogun did a scorpion kick pass. Now, I can't verify because it happened for a split second and I never saw a replay, but I think Balogun did a scorpion kick pass, or Balogun, as the commentators were calling him. Might be his name, might not be. And that was the first half. I didn't make another note for the first 50 minutes of the second half. We came out in the second half really poor, to be honest with you. That second half display at the start was troubling. You can see start of that second half, we had a tiny bit, and then it was them dominating really. And the changes were made, taking off Neil Taylor, who 2 games in a row now, where he's really struggled to get into it. We'll look at it here. Played 55 minutes, 34 touches, which isn't horrendous to be fair, but 6.5. He just didn't really offer that much. Yeah, but with those changes, Tav moved out to left wing back, which is why his average position is slightly more skewed. But hey, yeah, Tav moved out to left wing back, and my word, he was outrageous when he moved there. Just outrageous. He had Dara O'Shea on toast, which is a lovely dish if you want to try it. You have to be very good at football to try it. So maybe not even very good, but Tavernier is very good, as we've discussed. And I feel like you can't argue any different now that he's put in a couple of weeks worth, a couple of months possibly worth of excellent performances. And could this be a turning point for him? I wonder. Let's break down the goals though. So the first one, 59 minutes on the clock. Our Dutch King Anthony involved heavily, just down the right hand side, cuts it back into the middle. Okay, McNair just lays it off to McGree, and Riley McGree. So what a pass! McNair, by the way, lays it off and then just drifts into the box. Smart movement from him. Riley McGree, though, if you haven't seen the pass, that's all I'll say on it. Into Tav. Tav's movement really good. He just draws out. I think it's Dean Garner who's tracking back. Dara O'Shea kind of pulled more centrally because I believe naturally he's a centre back. Yeah, and Tav just takes him this way. Bosh, changes pace. McGree finds him. He cuts it back. Paddy Minette finishes it off. Beautiful goal. Just wonderful football. Yeah. And 10 minutes after that, Big Tav scored. Dykesdale does even better this time. He just slows it down on the right hand side, turns, and then see you later. He's away from two, and then has the composure, the peace of mind just to square it to Jones. Just plays it into Jones. He cuts it across. The assist has been given to Watmore because as he's falling over, he gets a touch on it. So really, it probably should go as a Jones assist, but they've given it to Watmore. So I'd consider it a Jones assist, but it's not up to me. Not Chris Watmore, by the way. Duncan Watmore, we love him. Constant energy, that man. Yeah, and Tav's there at the back post because the ball's just behind Watmore, but as he's falling over, stretching out, he just touches it, and Tav converts it. Yeah, could this be a turning point for Tav? It's first goal in a long time, a second goal of the season in total. And I've written here, he's been brilliant for weeks now. He's probably been brilliant for months, to be honest. He's an excellent footballer, and I think people are starting to change their mind a bit now. I just bit my tongue there, by the way. If you wondered what maybe that facial expression was, not my tongue, so I bit my lip. So that's great. Nice taste of iron in my mouth. Yeah, I wonder maybe moving Tav out to the left hand side in this game. Could it be something we see more permanently? Now, that's not me having to go at Neil Taylor. I think Neil Taylor has done really well since coming in, to be honest. Because we got him, on a free. He's been excellent. But Tav moving out to the left hand side was outrageous. And now the thing is, Tav's been really good in the middle every game. So, I'm not the manager. Chrissy Wilder is. What a manager he is. That tactical switch. What I think he's done, like I say, I'm not a manager. I think what he's done here, switched it to a three-pronged attack, really. So let me bring in, should have done this beforehand. There's Spora, number 11. Yeah, I'll pronounce it cool. And there is Mr. Duncan Watmore. He's not 48, that's Riley McGree. He's 18. What am I doing on it? Oh, gosh. I'm such a klutz. Take out Taylor. Take out Balogun. Tav's moving out to here, just getting him beyond Dara O'Shea all the time. And you've got Spora and Watmore. You know, I mean, on the extra positions, I believe it was more like that. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, those three, I mean, looks like we were doing what they were trying to do and just occupy this defence. Three men there. Dara O'Shea is more of a centre back, so he would have tucked in, help out. You've got this bloke over here, Connor Townsend, trying to deal with. Where's Izzy Jones? I forgot to put Izzy Jones in. How can I forget to put in Izzy Jones? He probably like here or something. No, he's not here, I believe. You know, Townsend getting pinned back by Jones. You've seen his average positions back here. Plus, then you've also got Dyke still coming in, so Colin Grant's having to drop back. Got Jones going more inside, Dyke still just out here. You know, at one point he was surrounded by a couple of players. And you can see it already. What's that? Space for Tav. I mean, Dara O'Shea was having to come across and it's just causing so many problems. It was allowing, you know, for that first goal, Paddy McNair from open play to be here. You know, that's not a great thing for a defensive side. If you know, well, for the side that are currently defending, if you're under that much pressure, the opposition centre backs are getting into your box. And that was just Chris Wilder's just genius mind. You've got to question Steve Bruce though. I mean, I almost rate it, the audacity of the man to see his opposite number make a tactical switch, absolutely pull his pants down and just take it. Just sit there and take it. Yeah. So that was how it ended. Just really smart game management at the end. Lee Peltier came on. Time wasting from Howson, from just from everyone. Wonderful. So the star performers. Let's start with Tav. Work ethic, unquestionable, as always. Lacked the cutting edge, really, until being shifted out to that left, where he got one-on-one with Dara O'Shea. And then his dribbling just came to the fore. His movement as well for both the goals, really good. Yeah, great player. I've made my thoughts known about Tav. He's wonderful. Moving on to Anthony Dykesdale, heavily involved in both the goals. Pocketed Colin Grant. Absolute, just unquestionably, just so good. He's so good defensively. He's brilliant. Always composed. He's just, he is a Rolls Royce of a defender. There you go. You know, elegant, classy, calm, knows how good he is. You know, he knows he's class. But he doesn't brag about it. He doesn't shout about it. You know, he's just, yeah, you know what I mean. And then Riley McGree, who I thought, across the whole 90, better than Tav. I think Dykesdale probably, Dykesdale might get my man of the match, to be honest. Even though Tav got a goal and assist, Tav in that first half, still good. Always, you know, providing threat because of that pressure that he exerts on opposition midfields and defences just by his running. Yeah, he's all out. Let's look at his heat map again. Come on. Yeah, just, I mean, you know, it's all over the place. That's with McGree, though, to be fair. Riley McGree was all over the place as well. As you can see, quite a bit deeper than Tav. But he was always looking to get on the ball all the time. It's a really good thing to see. You know, not scared to get the ball, turn, run at players. It was a lovely bit of skill he did down in this area here, where it then got pulled back and, yeah, another questionable refereeing decision. Yeah, but Riley McGree, excellent. You know, he's only 23 as well. If that's what we're going to be seeing from him at this stage in his career, okay, I like it. You know, if he's playing like that, Crooks might struggle to get back in the team. Unless Crooks moves into the house and I mean, could McGree play the house and role? I think he probably could. Here it's quite a fluid midfield three, though. That's the thing. I think McGree probably could play that Houseman role. Yeah, I think he's shown that he is, as I say, happy to get on the ball, to receive it on the turn. As he looks a bit metronomic, really. So maybe want to keep an eye on. Because a midfield three of Tav, McGree, and Crooks is disgusting, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's just about going to do it, though. Maybe have a look in the second half and see that switch. Currently, so suddenly had 4 more shots, 2 big chances. Any big chances missed? No. Of the boys. Yeah, and 5 shots inside the box. So, Chrissy Wilder, once again, just outrageous. Yeah, I think that's about going to do us this game, though. Yeah, we're going to stop the screen share, give you this old mug back in full viewing pleasure. That didn't make sense. Right. Yeah, that's going to be it, though. So, if you have enjoyed this double match reaction, which wasn't originally intended to be, but when life gives you lemons, as they say, don't leave them in the fruit bowl. Yeah, that old adage. I'm going to go because it's been a long day at work, quite frankly. So, just want to relax now. Not this isn't relaxing. I'm sure this is relaxing for the both of us. I'm sure you're listening to this just sipping on gin and juice, laid back. Finish the lyrics in the comments. Yeah, I'm a man of culture. What of it? I'm going to stop rambling, though, and I'll catch you in a bit, possibly after the Barnsley game. Who knows? Who knows what the future may hold, apart from more W's for Chris Wilder's Middlesbrough. 7 in a row at home. I think Spurs are our next home game. So, Antonio Conte, rubbish. We'll make it 8. Knee bother. Yeah, in a bit. Have a lovely day.